All right, turning now to this, President Donald Trump today threatening to invoke the Insurrection Act in Minnesota, where there's been unrest since an ICE officer shot and killed a woman last week. Now, the president and Department of Justice placing blame on local leaders, saying they're, quote, encouraging violence. And as ABC's Olivia Rubin reports, the mayor of Minneapolis says he's calling for peace.
Tensions boiling over in Minnesota. Protesters clashing with law enforcement at the scene of another shooting involving a federal officer. The Department of Homeland Security claiming a federal law enforcement officer shot a Venezuelan man in the leg, saying he took off during a traffic stop and tried to evade arrest and violently assault an officer. Adding 2 other people joined in, attacking the officer with a snow shovel and a broom handle. DHS saying the officer fired to defend his life, hitting that man in the leg. The man and the officer were taken to the hospital, the other 2 taken into custody. The protests and clashes happening daily for the last week after an ICE officer shot and killed Renee Good, a U.S. citizen.
This is not creating safety.
Mayor Jacob Fry slamming the immigration operation, saying it's putting a strain on local police and is not sustainable. He says he's calling for peace.
For anyone that is taking the bait tonight, stop. We cannot counter Donald Trump's chaos with our own brand of chaos.
And President Trump now threatening to invoke the Insurrection Act, which would allow him to deploy the military on American soil. So, as he says, to quickly put an end to the travesty taking place.
The Insurrection Act gives the president extraordinarily broad discretion, and courts generally defer to the president with respect to just how much discretion that is. So it is potentially a dramatic expansion and militarization of domestic law enforcement.
And the Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche also trying to blame Democrats in Minnesota, saying he is focused on stopping what he says is their terrorism, saying that is not a threat, but a promise. Olivia Rubin, ABC News, New York.